President Trump's actions vis-a-vis tariffs for the past month or so have been really illuminating in terms of how Trump handles things and how he kind of creates a panic, creates a problem, gestures at that problem, does something purporting to fix that problem, and then gets his supporters to give him a standing ovation for his supposed actions that helped the country. And one person who's pointing this out is actually Harry Sisson on X. Now, Harry Sisson is not perfect by any means. He said that President Biden did well in the debate back in June 2024. Obviously, he did not exactly do well. He said stuff like, "We finally beat Medicare." But I think that this is a really good post explaining how Trump does things, how he operates, and how MAGA consistently gets brought into this loop where they fall for it again. They make those memes, those, fell for it again awards. And that's exactly what's going on here. So let me read this. MAGA falls for it every single time. Trump manufactures a crisis that harms countless people. Then he pretends to solve the issue he created. MAGA cheers him on and calls him a master negotiator. How do they fall for the same playbook over and over again? One might say cognitive dissonance is the reason that they fall for it over and over again. But yeah, that's just one of his many playbooks. There's a whole bunch more to explore. He not only creates problems, but he will gesture at problems that existed under Democratic presidents, because yes, plenty of those exist too. Problems don't just happen under Republican presidents. He says, look at the problems under Biden, look at the inflation problem, look at the problems under Obama, and then he comes in there and uses that either but to pretend to solve it, like he does with his own problems, or he uses it as an excuse to violate the Constitution and to behave in an authoritarian way. No issue better illustrates this than the issue of immigration / illegal immigration / the southern border with respect to the Biden administration, just having a hard time getting their border bill passed. Trump tanked it. Biden was not regarded highly for his actions with respect to the border. And so Trump pointed at that a lot during the campaign. Obviously, the main issue was inflation, but the border was something that Trump pointed at a lot. Said, oh yeah, look, we have to do something about the southern border. We have open borders, which is a total lie. And people in mainstream media are repeating that lie. They repeat that lie to this day that we had open borders under Biden. But he said it enough. He said it enough in a convicted tone, just an aggressive, certain way that is typical textbook Trump. And people are like, yeah, no, open borders. There's an open border. We got to do something about the open border under Biden. Biden and Harris, open borders. And so then he uses that, people have given him an inch on the border. They're like, yeah, no, he's right. There's some problems with the southern border. And then he uses that to violate the Constitution. And now more and more people are starting to be sympathetic to the plight of immigrants, undocumented, illegal, otherwise, because Trump is violating their constitutional rights. He's also deporting American citizens as well. So he sees this opening for someone to be really tough on the border and says, yeah, I'm going to be tough on the border. And then comes in here and he's even tougher than he campaigned on being on the border. He didn't talk about, oh yeah, we're going to deport American citizens, but that's what he's doing. And now Trump voters are having their loved ones sent to ICE or detained by ICE. And they're just like, whoa, I did not see that coming. I feel deceived. I feel betrayed. I voted for this guy, but I don't know if I would vote for him today because of this. My family members are being detained by ICE. This is ridiculous. Hassan Piker had to deal with some of that. He didn't vote for Trump, obviously, because he's kind of a communist, actually. But so do you see what I mean? That Trump creates these fake problems on his own, but also looks at problems that the Democrats might have created or might have arisen under the Democrats and says, look at the problem here. And then he comes in with some grand solution, which usually amounts to a violation of people's rights. But the tariffs really do illustrate how he's like, yeah, no, I can pretend to be master negotiator. I can say really stupid stuff, make the world laugh at us, make the world go, ick, what's going on here with this guy? And then I'm going to purport to solve it. I'm going to get us back to square one. But the fact that I got us back to square one is going to be looked at through the lens of my base as me saving the day, me bringing us to a better position than we were in before. And it's like, no, you brought us to the same position we were in before, dude. Really? So yeah, really good post by Harry Sisson. I think it's right on the money. I would add more to it, obviously, because there are so many Trump playbooks at this point. We've learned stuff from his first term. We've learned stuff from this term. We've learned about also the playbook of how he'll hyper-focus on social issues at times to distract from economic issues. And the Republican Party as a whole does that a lot. You can see my video, why do Republicans focus on social issues so much? I think it's something like that. That they do it because the squeaky wheel gets the grease. They're like, yeah, no, our base will love that. We don't have that much to offer with respect to economics, if at all anything to offer. They probably don't. And so they're like, oh, social issues. This is really cool, guys. This is really edgy. We're going to talk tough on social issues. We're going to talk about, transgender women in sports. We're going to talk about DEI, wokeness, critical race theory, cancel culture, you name it, all this stuff, this smorgasbord of social issues that'll get you riled up, because we can't get you riled up on economics because we don't have any good economic plans. They don't have any. When was the last time a good Republican economic plan was passed? Please answer me that. Let me know in the comments. Please like, comment, or subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to speaking to you in my next video.